Hello. So, it's 6:45 in the morning. Sorry, I have to have the camera close to my face. I hope you can hear me. Because my microphone's not that good. But, I have been waking up all night from nightmares, and so I thought I would take the time to talk about it. Um, I wake up literally shivering, maybe because I'm in a cold sweat and I'm like shaking, and my breath is really like it's weird. My breath is like it like I'm panting. And usually when I wake up in the dream when I'm trying to yell and I can't, or I'm trying to cry like really loudly and I can't, and that it's terrible. and uh and they're all personal, so they're not like horror movies all the time, you know. Like one of them was a family member came over to my house and just had issues with me, that's had issues with me in the past for reasons that I don't understand, um, that are personal to them. And so we start having it out, you know. And um, I think we even wrestled in the dream. I won that part because I'm a pretty good wrestler. I always have been a good wrestler, even though they're stronger than me. Because I'm flexible and I know how to, or I did when I was a kid. I would just work their weight against them. But anyway, uh, but it was with PTSD, that kind of stuff, at least the kind of PTSD that I have, um, can be really traumatic for your system. And it can make you feel like you're in a war zone for a really long time. It's a little different than a panic attack. I've tried to talk about it on this channel before, but anyway. And then after that, I had one that was, sounds funny, but like my apartment was in a different place, and um, everyone just started coming in. Like there was some kind of social thing, and they're like, your apartment's in the middle, and all these doors kept appearing, and people just kept coming in, and they wouldn't leave my home. Uh, and that's kind of a fear of mine. I get really anxious about, like, I don't invite people to come over usually and hang out at my house, because I don't know when they're gonna leave. I can't entertain them. I don't know. It's just a big deal, and unless I'm really close to you, I usually don't like it. It usually works at my nervous system. Um, uh, anyway, and that sounds simple, but it ended up with me like yelling, and my landlords wouldn't help me in the dream. Uh, like windows were being taken out, and people were coming in through them, and they were like, sorry, you know. And I was just like, no one would help me, and I was like yelling for people to get out of my house. Anyway, and then the third one was just like sci-fi ridiculous. Like I got hurt, and then some like alien life form grew in my leg, and I'd be taken out and all kinds of stuff. It was terrible, it was stupid. But in the previous video, I said that I liked sleeping, and I do, but maybe it's during the day. I never have nightmares during the day, and if you know about this stuff, maybe you can tell me about that. Uh, it's only at night that I have nightmares. Um, when I don't have nightmares, I want to sleep a long time, probably because I'm exhausted, and it just feels good to just be relaxed and to feel nice and not have to face the world. um, anyway, it sounds stupid. I was up like around 2:45, like before all the nightmares. Oh, that was probably what did it. I was up around 2:45 because I was hungry. I was starting to get a headache because I tried, but evidently I didn't eat enough the day before, and I had to eat like a little meal, um, and stuff, and take a headache medicine, and I took a Tylenol and whatever. So this is just normal stuff, and now I just can't sleep. It's 6:54, and this is just what I deal with all the time. The squid one. the alien coming out of my leg. That's abnormal. Stuff doesn't usually happen. And that didn't happen till the very end. But it was ultimately an escape dream. And I have escape dreams all the time. Not where like everyone coming to my home kind of dream where, like, not that I can't, it's, even though that seems like an escape dream, it's sort of, but an actual, like, I'm in a scenario with people I don't know in a place I've never been, and we have to escape the place and get to somewhere else because we are being chased or there's some kind of danger. Sometimes there's a person that I've met in real life, but it's not integral to the story. It just happens to be that the side character is this person. But I have those all the time. And here's the thing. We never actually get there. We do escape and we're on the journey, but we're like halfway through the journey, and then that's when I wake up. And I always seem to know where I'm going in these dreams. Sometimes they are cool. like like we do cool stuff, and and a lot of them it's always surprising that I can fly and it like levitate kind of and like move like through the air like that. That's really fun. They do still like give me a great deal of anxiety, and sometimes they are really, really intense, and they give me a lot of body tension, and and after, when I wake up from them, I don't know if I can wake up out of them like on purpose because it's so bad. I think it usually plays through, if I'm correct. I'm trying to remember all of them, but anyway, I still have, it's still bad for my nervous system, and it makes me like tense, and I wake up, like sometimes I'll wake up like breathing heavy, or I've really cried before. But it's exhausting. It's living in hypervigilance, living in that kind of scenario, your body and your subconscious all the time. So I took a shower, and I'm wearing a robe, and I'm fixing oatmeal. I almost left the shower to get out and fix oatmeal, but that would have taken so much. That would have just been such a huge thing, a huge mess. And so I decided to stick it out, which probably wasn't the wisest, but I did it. But now I'm fixing oatmeal right away because this is the way I live. It's only, I guess it's 8:45 now, so I guess it has been a while since that midnight meal, or whenever it was I ate that meal, but it's fine, you know. There are worse things. How could I make my eating things easier on me? It would really, really help if I could just go buy a meal that was tasty and filling somewhere else and bring it back to my house, and that would help so much. Oh my God, that would help so much. The reason why I don't do that and why I make everything is purely vegetarian right now. So would that be amazing? That would be so great. But the upside is that I have learned sort of to cook, which I never knew before. I was not raised really around like a lot of cooking, and I was never really shown how, besides just like the directions are on the box. You know what I'm saying? So it's been really cool. It makes me feel really self-sufficient. It was a challenge, trying to learn how to cook for myself, especially since at the time I wasn't eating meat or dairy. And anyway, I'm getting off topic, and I can talk about that sometime why I'm eating meat now. Obviously, because I need the fucking calories. That's why. And it has made such a huge difference in me not like it would be worse than this, and I feel less like shit because I feel fuller, longer on littler food because of how much I can manage to get in my stomach, you know. And I do feel a little slightly more grounded. When I wasn't eating meat, I did feel lighter. I know I've heard other people say that. It does feel, it's funny, but it does. And it kind of makes sense. You're running on glucose. You know, everything gets broken down into sugar eventually. Does protein get back? Except protein. Anyway, but uh, that's that. But whatever. So it is a little ooh for me sometimes. I will admit, eating meat still. It took me a couple times. I tried to eat. I was like, well, maybe I can incorporate dairy, but dairy does too much stuff to my body. It inflames my body, and it gives me such terrible indigestion. Um, and so anyway, it's just like hit or miss. And so it's safer, I feel like. Um, and it's more versatile in cooking. It really adds a lot to cooking when you can eat meat. And so I just eat it like shredded and stuff. I could make chicken stew the other day. That was really good. Anyway, um, is that it? Yeah, I think this will wrap this up, guys. It's the next morning. I showered finally, and I'm still making food. I'm making oatmeal, and I'm gonna make a lot of it. I'm gonna eat it all up, and then I'm gonna play with my dog because she's so patient. She's trying to get me to play with her, and I'll play with her a little bit, but I'm just dealing with all this stuff, and I'm exhausted. So thanks for watching. This is Neurodiversity Life. One of them. It's diversity. Here's a diverse one. Thanks. Bye.